Talking Point platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one for tomorrow. Now we just one platform for news every day. Now we country salute for education, entertainment, political affairs. TTPTV. We put enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit. TTPT.
Yes, Fambulen, una welcome back to yet another very important segment where they come through the Talking Point platform. Just like any other day, we're not done with Komon-Tok. Today, one of the Komon-Tok we can take time, we look into the bondage with salon don't they pay. We technically they under the ants and they don't get we fully what do I say chained the IMF, the World Bank. Now the institutions here, we leaders there, the political actors in the country, Nasalo, they need to take time really explain to the people in the late times for let people understand the impact where the countries here, where the institutions here get now we own economy in general and the life of the people. We can make it very simple. They will not understand. And today we go also join on this same talk with John Parkins in confession. This is now one of the recruited mercenary, economical mercenary, where the West they use through the institution here for wreak serious havoc on poorer countries, like for example, Salon. Now, why this even important? But I can give you a simple example, explanation on this. And also on the program, DW make a documentary on land grabbing. Plenty point out, I don't send several videos, document land, since when this government come, this now that fresh challenge for people. People and they pull document, this they pull documents, this they pull document from the same ministry, but yet would I get power? Would I get upper hand? Now they get the document and then they get the land. We see them cases and they privately and openly do they don't call it's just chaotic. So we go feature that documentary there. I'm sure plenty people will they watch here. Some of we in one way or the other, we don't get issue of land business or don't involve or all this you don't know person. Maybe you can see how the that's the process. As I see, we only focus our attention on them two issues here because we want to make sure say we put down to the BRS minimum in terms of making it more clearer to people. If you just join me for the first time, we want to use this opportunity for welcome you now Talking Point platform with a different signer with a TPP Leone. Now YouTube perhaps also you see this for the first time. Or for join we is super easy. Click the subscribe button, turn the notification bell. Each time we can live, we go send you an alert. It's a promise. We also did our Facebook with the name Talking Point platform. Within our Twitter, within our X formerly Twitter with the name Komon-Tok, and we also did TikTok Komon-Tok as well as Instagram. My name is Mr. Komon-Tok, and today na the 15th of August 2024. We not get nothing for waste. We can just now for don't pardon the issues there. Better one.
One platform for news every day. Now we country salute for education, entertainment, political affairs. TTPTV. We put enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit.
All right, so fam, we'll go straight to the point. As always, this na general appeal we make. You know why? I want for belief say now very, very few places in social media you go get messages like they are. And this supposed to be a national discussion. This supposed to be the civil society. They're supposed to champion what we do. So they're supposed to all, because all of these figures, statistics, whatever can put for you. So then shocking. We get documents from the World Bank, from IMF, from them, SESF. And what we could do, we go even probably just take some 50 words in there, because they're huge, the pages and boku. So we go just take half from IMF, half from World Bank, or we just combine one. We show you exactly how they come out, what we mean, and what we talk, let you get up. Now, consider, please, for share this to that mommy, that pa, make sure say let this reach to the people who actually need it. We the Sierra Leone, particularly down in the country, let it reach the last man at the last village. Why? If you sit in the Tanga, not because of them here. Yes. Plenty time we don't talk. Sometimes you they bring calm some. I don't read on this, I don't read on that. But when you hear it from the people that will commit the crime, where be they carry the actions and they talk, not to them book they know more than I to, then they grant interview, and I think it worth listening to because it's coming from the horse's mouth. Fambule, we gonna make for you a simple example. You as an individual, let's say you know your basic salary. Let's say they make $1,000. I'm sorry, 1 million loans. Let's put 1 million loans. But your basic, but your expenditure, the things and what you need for take care of your home, then pass 1,000. Maybe perhaps 3,000 you actually need. Perhaps maybe now 5,000 actually for let you run your home. There comes suicide. The toss. What you able get now 1,000. And he need for you 5,000, and you get for look into other places how you go get 5,000 for run your home. Now, so if you buy like within a country, now what do you go do as an individual? If you're not somebody with a good credit rating, they respect you or they're trustworthy, you can go meet X person or Y person, but you can't lend me 1 million. It lent you because you know see the peer. You able go down the back, it lent you because of your credibility, not so because they respect you. So you go able get way for respect and for length. You run your home or you do what you want to do. The same thing go to a country. When a country gets because they get yearly, then get what you can call, like for example, then get for carry for a finance bill very shortly the budget. That budget there now, what we prepare, what we expect for get. So don't get with tax. And we don't sell the resources, so we expect. However, you know, can do, I make them call on deficits, budget deficits. I don't know when last we get budget surplus. Anyway, there are very few countries in the world they get budget surplus. For example, then budget 5,000, then revenue generation it becomes 7,000. There are very few countries across the world. Notably, there will be get Estonia, a very small country, and other few countries there anyway. But majority of the world economy they run on deficits. But not to that answer for talk. What are the time for talk here is the governments now they rely on the authority because they know they trust you as an individual, they trust the government. So when Mother Bio or an SWB they take salon name, not on your name, you need to go and you need to go there with me name Mother Bio can't trust me. If they can go the salon name because they know a country always they did it. The people of Sierra Leone name it go lend money because the need for can do XYZ. There comes to the institutions that will go for can talk to you so about the IMF and the World Bank and other places there. But the impact, many economists, many political scientists that argue say it counterproductive. And when we talk out, not just the talk out of the we want to talk out, they back them up with evidence on a from them. This nine they say, in fact, according to one philosopher, he say anytime I see an IMF World Bank representative na country, it appear as if it's synonymous to angel of death, and it's true. First, when they first get down there, sometimes you know we gladly way to expose yourself now to some of them things here from the people. And when will be the reach they say IMF now, but we they make some comparisons. How could them people be so bad? Then they can't give you 100 million, 200 million, 10 million. How? Now, only when you think deeply and you follow them, now you understand, say, not so good and they can't do you. Not so good, not to happen they can't help you. Rather, this now a well-orchestrated plan of the top elite in the world, how then they run, how forget money, suck from the poorest of the poor or people that make you see the IMF now the last resort. Last resort. And not to say where you then not make IMF for go lend money. I mean, like where anything I want to go lend money. Well, I mean, anything you want at the last resort, you don't get no other side. Don't turn to the last resort. You go lend money there. And now some of them, like the Parkins, where they explain how then they work. There you go understand. Say when you get to governments, then they brag for go take money on the IMF. When you get to government and they brag for go take money at World Bank, and you know what's in the happen, you ask, what is going on? Are these people okay? Are these people okay? Let me put something for you. Let's take a step by step. All right. Now, what do you see now the screen? So we get multiple sources of this. The public debts. As soon as they see now the screen, it will shock you. Not so, it will shock you. Why? We public debts, even though it declined by 87%, it was in 2022 first, it was 93%. It declined by 87%. You can imagine 87% of the GDP. The GDP, when I say the GDP, now the gross domestic product, what in this mean? All the goods and services what would they produce in that country? Now in called GDP, the gross domestic product. I mean, foreigner now we the citizens, because the GDP different from the GNP. Where now the gross national product, where mainly that side they look at national, that we the citizens, whether you outside we own money, actually money, but the GDP, all the business that the goods and services where they take place in that country and that GDP. So we country GDP, we check and force roughly now like 4 billion. But when you look at the debt what we don't take, it close to if you have, with a laugh, but it's serious. If you have film, we GDP, we debt it close to with GDP, 87%, that almost are the same. No, because if you person get 87%, if you public debt very close to 87% of your GDP, when 100%, let's say 4 billion, waiting left. Now, very small, very small. Look, at one time, in 2020, you even go 93%. Now, this is not the World Bank. Now they put the source. Now, let me go down a little bit. In fact, this down even shocking. If you check, the CNN recorded. I don't balance this one. Now, let me read this one quick. It's, although there was a slight improvement in trade and current account balances, official reserve decreased to barely 3 months of import cover due to external debt servicing, currency interventions, and foreign currency payments to diplomatic missions overseas. What in this mean? We're not church this program at all. This is not half for the brinker. When I say reserve, every country, every responsible country gets what they call reserve. In the law say, the money what they get, where if no longer nothing, waiting go able make they able sustain their own economy or their own country for probably a couple of months or years. Most all the countries there. If you listen, only the money we get for imports. Things there for runway for service with economy, now only 3 months would able salon, now only 3 months. And why that happen? Because we get external debts then for service. Just like we go trust money, I begin by telling you go lend money to Bora, to Amadou, to Sori, and you get for pay Sori because of your respect. Now like there are debt servicing. The government gave us service then debt here to institutions that don't go lend. The IMF, the World Bank, bilateral debt from friendly nations there, then get for pay them. So that one day they make, we're not able to get enough reserve. We entire reserve now only 3 months. Only 3 months. Laughable. I don't know if you know, but any other country we get 3 months. Anyway, no go. The Sierra Leone recorded a government debt to GDP, 88% of the country's gross domestic product in 2023. Now, if you go up a little bit, you go see say in 2022, it declined, and if you count down, yeah, you will see say we debts with GDP debt, it don't go to 88.90% in last year. That's 2023. Will not come on in 2024 too. That's not very close to the GDP. And if I worry you, why? Just like I don't tell you, because that money where governments they take, Fabula can, I think, let's slow a little bit, let people get the concept. That money where government they take for invest in school, for invest in healthcare, for invest in infrastructure, for improve medicine, for improve the lives of the doctors, for improve the life of the teachers, for build more schools, for build electricity, they happen. So let people understand, because the debt don't close to the GDP. It don't almost the same. And then that's nothing they get for doing debt servicing. We get for waiting, pay them money there. We get for pay them. This now make the country that's Kangana the country, and I make things in the Kangana the country every blessed day. This the government and they tell you. Now this no one they even know safe. Who's tell you this now SLBC? Then they talk about that. Who's tell you this from their other media outlet in the country at this time? They hear no easily. Why? Because first, this nothing where governments no like. They know what I mean. The people they know. Now that made the country they continue to become even more difficult. Now, government debt in GDP, the government debt to GDP in Sierra Leone average now be like 105.14% of the GDP from 1990 until 2023, reaching at all-time high of 247.38% of GDP in 1991 and a record low of 30.50% of GDP in 2013. So throughout our lifetime as a country, the only table with GDP, the public debt came down now within the year 2012 and 2013. Uda bidede now and Eskoma bidede. Just like we play several of the clip then where other the Tony Blair, the Obama there, where they talk about waiting how the economy be look like. This now one source, but all the rest at the moment. If you check Diana, 88.90% of GDP. What this means, we are very, very close to danger line. And if you check again, this now other figure where you see. The gross domestic product in Sierra Leone was worth, this now, you see, 3.81 billion. Now, according to an estimate, we entire GDP now 4 billion. So if we gross domestic products was 3.8 billion, and with debts, according to World Bank, according to them figures we get, now close to 88%, it's almost like the same. Some figures and put onto 4 billion. Now this one will get, so this year we get on 3.81 billion. You see, this again, if you check this now, now previous statistics there, the trillion, the debt alone, the Leone total public debt at the end of 2020, where this government just came, that'll be waiting 3 billion, when that'll be 30 trillion. And this amount is bigger than the entire 2019, 2020, 2021 government budget. In terms of GDP, the total public debt now is 74.2%. So why would they get this old? Because we don't get, what did they say? We don't get stringent fiscal policy, control of it. Then give people the money for do something, you're not afraid, and go tamper with public money, and nobody not get for do the nothing. For example, Paran Kebo IMF, he worked for 3 years, then till billions of loans, and governments can say, the auditor general will come. He say the office of the president, they not retire the receipts properly, and the need for investigate. No, then they fire on. They say no because for ask the president, get no permission. We see Andrew Jai them, they take technically bribe because nobody no go just go give 500 motor car them, expensive cars them for nothing. They see that they say no get case. The managing director on a Sierra Leone commercial bank, a public owned bank, they just falsify documents then for let them buy for a motor car or motor cars them on more than $150,000. This now, not to me, they say these are all waiting the SEC they say. Now waiting the SEC they say. Now we do the talk. This now waiting we know. Waiting we don't know if we know with the boss cry. With the boss cry. So we get serious problem. But I'll just flash you quickly, Naya, about some of this issue about the IMF. How this danger now we country. Who they come?
The International Monetary Fund, an institution that promotes global economic stability and perhaps a lender of last resort, or as some say, an outdated organization whose policies damage the social and cultural fabric of a country. Let's take a closer look. The IMF was founded in 1944 at Bretton Woods in the United States. Since then, its membership has grown from 44 countries to 190. The IMF says it monitors the economic health of member countries and provides loans for governments in economic distress. 2 years ago, at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, more than 100 nations requested bailouts from the IMF. Here's our correspondent, Alan Fisher, reporting on those loans.
From its headquarters here in Washington, the International Monetary Fund has put together a $9 trillion pot to help countries deal with the COVID crisis. Most of that money has come from the G20, the world's richest nations, and more than 100 countries have asked for help.
Now, this is the IMF map of where money was distributed. Among those helped, $2.7 billion to Egypt, $411 million to Ethiopia, $361 million to Bosnia-Herzegovina. More recently, Sri Lanka received $2.9 billion after its economy faced collapse. It ran out of money for food, medicine, cooking gas, and fuel. But critics of the IMF say it is outdated and ineffective. Of the 89 developing countries that received IMF loans between 1965 and 1995, more than half were no better off afterwards. In fact, 32 were poorer. Other critics question whether many nations which borrow money from the IMF have the ability to repay it.
Now you're saddled with additional debt from the IMF, then some sort of longer-term plan and program is likely going to have to step in to help countries through that.
Now, the IMF is downgrading its forecast of 2.9% global growth in 2023. It says that's because of the increasing risk of recession and financial instability.
Far from being transitory, as we thought, inflation is much more persistent. High energy and food prices, tighter financial conditions, lingering supply disruptions decelerate growth. All of the world's largest economies are now slowing down.
For better or for worse, many more governments may need to turn to the IMF in the coming months and years.
All right. So, finally, when I don't get the glimpse now, when I don't get exactly which side we want to go, but how this, get any significant help where they help. And for make matter worse, even when they go take their money there, we know they use them well. And in fact, are this money really coming to Sierra Leone? If, for example, go towards 10 million, 20 million, now all they come, that I make today, when they can put for you a documentary where Al Jazeera do, then we can down to a point, I feel say even the layman said they understand exactly how IMF and the World Bank they work and how you as Salon person, we have been trapped, we have been chained. The debt where we go take so, not to debt where we will pay. You see the shocking statistics, more than 50% of the people that the countries that we control, 30 of them are not able to pay the money. In fact, they even become even more worse. Now, look at a joint statement of Naya. This is not a document Now the World Bank now then put this document. I think how many pages there? I think 19 pages, but not to all. We're not able to jump into all this. If you do need this document, please ask us. We go definitely help you. We get a lot of them. We then provide for we. As soon as they see from the screen, now that side, this why would they take this? These are joint statements. All right, these are joint statements. World Bank joint statement of the World Bank as well as the IMF that they come together and put this report to. And then put this report. So I think we will just talk this one. Now look at this. It say I don't joint funded debt sustainability analysis. How do they analyze whether we able to pay these debts? I'll just take this one page no more. I think now we get interest. Now we get interest over. We am play for you how IMF they work. Let people understand. So if you see things and they continue for difficult na salon, this is the reason. And the Minister of Information not go tell you this. The Minister of Finance not go tell you this. The government not be bold enough for explaining to you, may you understand. But let me just read. Now so in the red, the risks of external debt distress. Of course, just like any other thing, before we're posting, even if party, you get for watching assessing if you party come to say, but can't lend me money, it depends on how much you ask for. If you know, so you party, if he can't ask you for lent 1 million, you're not going to pay, you just say go doubt. You know, you say how this man will pay. Let's say, for example, his salary na 300,000. No, you party can say, can't lend me 1 million. You go get for ask how you go pay. The 300,000 you get for parents, you get for the youth, you get for do this. So you get for look at then they look at the risk involved. You see how they rate we. They say we risk of external debt distress is very high. And the overall risk of the debt distress again is high. Now, the graduality in the risk rating is sustainable. This means anyhow you look at we as Sierra Leonean or as a government, let's say as a government, any government, you go able to sustain the debt. How? Because you go take from healthcare, you take from the education, you take from agriculture, you get for services, so it can sustainable. Now, only very few countries then they can collapse the economy now, they're not able to do it. But this technically, like, they work, they pay debts. That's antomot, antomot, or paycheck, we'll get we little and nothing resources with taxes there, we give them people there. But now they can't, then people are out and they operate behind the scene. Sierra Leone's public debt is sustainable, but the risks of external and overall debt distress are high and have increased notably relative to the previous DSA published in July 2022. Last year, a large physical overruns and the sharp depreciation of the Leone have resulted in a deterioration of both the solvency and the liquidity indicators. The external debt service to revenue ratio with the PV and of the public debt to GDP ratio exhibits larger breaches of their respective threshold. In addition, the overall debt service in revenue ratio, the PV extended debt GDP indicator have shifted notably. A larger and more troubled frontline fiscal adjustment is now urgently needed to ensure that the debt remains sustainable. All debt indicators are on declining trend over the medium to long term. However, this is predicted on the steadfast implementation of the planned fiscal adjustment, continued reliance on the concessional financing and grants, and the projected growth recovery. Efforts to seek further grants, financing, and lengthen the maturity structure of debt remain key as debt service ratios, gross financing needs will remain elevated over the medium and long term. The domestic rollover risks are attenuated by high interest margins, limited alternative investment options for domestic banks and other authorities committed to limit future domestic borrowing. Sierra Leone is susceptible to growth and exchange rate shocks, as well as fiscal slippages, all of which present a downside risk in their debt outlook. Okay, now just summarize and simple and quick one. When you get debts, some of them debts here, then they encourage them, IMF and World Bank, they encourage them for take other debts for service there. And in the overall picture, as one as see, very like the summary aspect of it, we still win a high risk country for trust for do business with. So just like any bank, when they can't do this, then they look at whether to assess this all, then they put the interest rates will be different because of the risks involved. Because in mind you, we be cut for you. I think we don't play this clip many times. Say the IMF is not a charity institution. No, not a charity institution. And our people money than they use. So I think what we can do today, we can show you how it operates and why you as a salon person, if you worry. If you think say your life will be better in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, I want to let you think again. If you think so, because the amount of money there, where we governments don't trust, is so huge. It's so huge. And the only way, you see the GDP, it close. I make we start out the GDP. The external debt, it close to the GDP. So we're not going to get money. The rest not going to go down. Una wait, una go see something by this new finance bill. Una go shock. Una go see something. All right. I think let we share with the family the economic hitman. A very interesting. I highly encourage for we pay attention. And if you are invite person, let you know how the West they use the institutions here, where we leaders people like they not get sense, where they rely on and they bluff back. They know they tell the people that they answer you, IMF don't give you 20 million. IMF don't open budget of 60 million. We don't get a grant. We don't get this. They know they tell you the problem. They know. But again, on this particular documentary, you will understand the trick with the behind this. You know why they will never say this to you. All right. I think Loputan left and listen. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Who are the economic hitmen? Are they putting insolvent countries in huge debt in order to control them and profit from their resources?
The rich were getting rich, but the poor were getting poorer.
I think what's important is that it absolutely happened and it benefited a small group of rich people in the global north.
That it's important for people to understand. This is a systemic problem.
Crashed into one of the towers.
Money was being diverted from health care, education, to pay off the loans.
There were a lot of people that did benefit from these crises.
Everything has been done to keep this game going.
Are there economic hitmen from powerful organizations that get poor countries to sign up for infrastructures that they don't necessarily need and take up loans that they essentially cannot repay in order to make profit? After I studied economics, I worked as a stock trader. I traded stocks and bonds for a few years. I would read company research and study the price movement in the market. It sounds boring, but I loved it. I actually still do. In my family, everyone is good with numbers, but I left the trading floor to become an actor. And because of my previous job in the market, I came across a book titled Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins, and I was shocked. These people were not discussing buying and selling stocks or companies. It is actually about buying and selling entire economies. The writer talked about economic hitmen who coordinate with bigger nations to exploit and devour poorer countries. Professional people whose job is to deceive countries and extort them with trillions of dollars. Is this a colonial tactic? To strip countries of their resources and political will? A country that needs to build or renew its infrastructure will need capital. It also needs the expertise, technology, equipment, and all of that. Developing countries likely will import some or all of this from another country. In order to pay for the imports, they will take a loan. It seems simple and straightforward, right? Fortunately, I can talk to someone who did this job. His name is John Perkins. I want to ask him about his previous job.
I was recruited by a big international consulting firm called Charles T. Main, which has since been bought, so the name no longer is out there. My title was chief economist. And I had as many as 50 people working for me. My job really was to identify countries that had resources our corporations wanted, like oil, like in the Middle East, oil, and then to arrange for a huge loan to that country from the World Bank or the IMF or one of the sister organizations. But the money would not actually go to the country itself. The country would collateralize the loan with its resource, but the money would go directly to our own corporations, big engineering companies like Bechtel and Halliburton and Brown and Root, and my own company would get a piece of the action to build infrastructure projects in the country. Things like power plants and industrial parks and highways, things that benefited a few rich people in those countries, as well as making huge profits for our own corporations. For a long time, I thought I was doing the right thing, as many people in that business do. But over time, I began to see that those statistics, GDP, gross domestic product, and other statistics are very skewed to the rich. And so the rich were getting rich, but the poor were getting poorer because money was being diverted from health care, education, and other social services, and just basic food and supplies to pay off the loans. I should mention one other thing, that the presidents of these countries knew that if they accepted the loans, they were putting their countries deep into debt, but they were going to get wealthy off this. Their families were going to benefit because they owned the businesses, they owned the industries, they owned the things that were helped by electricity and so forth. But there was another incentive for them, and that was that what we call jackals were in the background. And these are CIA assets usually, who overthrow governments or assassinate their leaders.
All right, so Fambul, I think la pause aside because it's very important for let Fambul understand the government of their country there where IMF they go, where they go entice them with them huge loans here, where they don't identify certain resources, certain mineral resources. Where in the case of we even get oil, the government they knew exactly the burden where people in there about, but because it gave a benefit to all the elites and they still accept her. This is now a pattern we cross across many, developing countries there. Now only few exception countries there. That makes somebody call on this program yesterday will make a whole lot of sense. When EBK be refused for take certain loan from the IMF, now some of you they see the wisdom behind that. Now some of you understand say it was a good visit, and the West not like that. The corporation, their corporation here, now then they control the government in the West. Let people just get this understand. The business people, when I mean business, the giant companies and then corporations, and then they control the government, all the countries out there, all. Now then they control them. So if you don't want something like a country, though you don't want to play ball, no, come on. Then they use the government for go after you. Now in John Perkins, they try to explain so. Because I don't allow Mr. Conceptually. Let's continue. You don't have 7 minutes. Please, when I do yourself a favor, when I share this content, let people share. We don't go the extra mile. We don't bring them calm to a point, not to book again. We know they can't put the writing again. We want to know like yeah. This time write one of the bestseller book regarding this, and he was an economic hitman, John Perkins. There we go.
John Perkins is not the only one that spoke about this. Many others say that developing countries which are in heavy debt may go through coups and assassinations as a result of not wanting to play.
The number one mistake I see Europeans make is following the advice from American sources, because the game works differently here. The market is at a different stage. The tactics that work over there don't work here. The pricing structures are different, and so on.
By these rules. And they say that these institutions and companies that lend countries have thousands of employees, and some jobs there are to manufacture and manage such crises. I reached Vincent Bevins, author of The Jakarta Method, a book which discusses the American intervention and collusion during the mass killings of Indonesians by their government in the 60s. I am sure he has something to say about this.
Hi, Vincent. Are there figures like economic hitmen, really? Ones that force abusive contracts on nations and countries?
What I can say is that in the second half of the 20th century, it was absolutely true that a lot of countries in the global south, countries that used to be part of something called the Third World Movement, ended up saddled with a lot of debt, which became unsustainable. And the fact that they were saddled with debt and the fact that the debt became unsustainable has a lot to do with institutions and actors based in the global north.
So are these institutions and actors from the north economic hitmen? Who is benefiting from this?
There were a lot of people that did benefit from these crises, whether or not they were financial actors or key players in international banks. I think what's important is that it absolutely happened and it benefited a small group of rich people in the global north.
And do you think that these practices are still in place today?
It's now fairly well recognized that the prescriptions the IMF was going around the world and handing out to indebted and poor countries were often very destructive. The IMF has even gone back on a lot of what it said in the past was the right medicine for a country that, quote unquote, had problems, even if those problems might have been generated by the system itself. But at the time, nobody was questioning this. And the fact that the IMF 20, 30 years later says, oops, we actually might have ruined half the world's countries doesn't change the fact that we're still on the path today that was created by those actions generations ago.
From an economic perspective, and even capitalistic one, wouldn't you say that keeping everybody healthy with good purchase power to engage in the global economy is better for the whole world than crippling them by loans that they cannot repay?
This is the paradox at the heart of liberal ideology, right? Because one would believe, based on the tenets of economics practiced in the English-speaking world, and one would believe, based on the ideals of liberalism in general, that it would be better for everyone to make sure the countries in the global south are growing just as fast and as robustly as any other country. But what we have seen is that did not happen over the last 70 years, and countries in the global north are still doing just fine.
In the middle of so much data, someone could say, well, these countries and regimes accepted the deal and committed willingly. Nobody forced them. I will ask this question to the American economist, Richard D. Wolff.
Hi, Professor Wolff. How are you?
Very good. I'm very glad to be here.
What can you tell me about the so-called economic hitmen and corporations or institutions that strangle countries' economies?
First of all, it happens all the time. It is nothing new. It is not rare. It is common.
So somebody from a powerful corporation goes and
will sometimes connect to a local equivalent of himself and cut a deal and say, look, I'm going to get paid $10 million for getting this done. I will give you.
All right. Okay. Let me catch that side. Sometimes Even when they look, the economic hitman they can at the country, they know they just jump. Then they use local people there. I will give you a typical example. Now, gentle group of companies. Many newspapers in the country. Then we carry out one banner where they are, let's say, government pay gentle 2 times, 10 million, say 2 times. After some time, 2 weeks, gentle pull a statement, say not to 2, now 1 them pay. We see that ala day. So basically, when the economic hitman they cancel, you hear about that port, they say we can build ports now. I don't know who's Banana Island or whatever, with huge debts. This now one of the trick where the economic hitman they can benefit very few people, but the real intention of can suck the people in. This is not to Mr. Komon-Tok now. They hear from professors, then they don't write the book, and even the one that were involved in doing that. And guess what? We countries then only if you are packing, only few leaders that were smart that in the denying that. But majority of the only way they accept the 8 boss. And technically now they talk. Because the impact is huge. Anyway, let's just finish. I don't left like probably 5 more minutes for Lord
$2 million if you become my local eyes and ears to help me work this out.
Forgive me if I will sound naive. Isn't the country receiving this loan participating willingly in this terrible deal?
Happens all the time. People from third world countries can get into that because they understand this game and they get the job because they say, I know better about the details of local politics. And by the way, it often fails. Don't imagine it's all so smooth. Sometimes one of these people will get drunk and say the wrong thing to the wrong person. Sometimes a local official will have a change of heart and want out of this situation. Sometimes people who take a portion then get blackmailed by somebody else who knows they did that, and now they have to get out of that. International credit is a very complicated, sneaky, personal business that can have all the different twists and turns that you can imagine.
Sometimes we have whistleblowers, people who speak up out of principle. This could change things, actually, right?
The only answer I can give you is that everything has been done imaginable to keep this game going. And one of the most important things is that when you get caught, either nothing is done or 1 or 2 individuals are punished, but you never change the basic system. And let me be for a moment the advocate of the banker who initiates this. That banker knows that if he can work 3 or 4 big deals, one in Ecuador, one in Mali, and one in Malaysia, he will be promoted to the president of the bank. That's how you succeed in the bank. They don't care how you do it. You shouldn't embarrass the bank, of course. But your job is to get that loan done. So if you don't, because you are honest or you have scruples, you are shooting yourself in the foot. You are destroying your own career. So often you will, if you know these people, they will tell you they have no choice. And that it's important for people to understand. This is a systemic problem.
After I left my job as a trader, I started a career in acting. And there were times when I didn't know.
All right, okay. Now, we're going to make this part 2. When I don't see how they will ask yourself the question, how will they pay, see what did happen? This particular thing just confirm exactly what did take place. we build an airport where they say it costs 270 million. I think let people and see, because some might not have it, so some might not even know the price will be used for building the airport. I think let we share, let us see how much they say this airport cost. We na 270. So you go know exactly the airport not count a relief for you. You not count a relief. You not count a relief for a count burden. I'm sure all the Sierra Leone how they travel they be uncomfortable because not to say it be happen today. This are the prices. I just want to put them for you. Let you see the cost. I just not the cost exactly. I just want to take. I don't want to put all of these other figures. I don't need them figures. Yeah, no, I don't need this. All right. All right, I'll take this one. All right, okay. Now let me share for you something. Let's see. Look, if you listen carefully, how they explain and they simplify. Now, so it happen now, yeah. Now, this now you airport this, the Freetown new terminal. In fact, a terminal, no, not a airport, na terminal. Now, it costs this amount. Look the amount. The new 270 million facility is 3 times the size of the existing terminal with capacity to handle up to 1 million passengers a year, 5 times the current maximum, and is described as a central part of Freetown International Airport Renaissance. Now, the point what they make here is when you look at this money, first, this money will give now one American corporation now they end up for pay this money. Yeah, time no, for we're not able again do the genealogy for being. I don't forget. If you remember, we placed now the comment section. That would be awesome. The one corporation at the app for finish this airport give money to 22 million, hundreds of millions of dollars. So technically, what's in packing the talk, now exactly when they happen, this economic hitmen and they look for people across, they look for places across the world who side and no say a vulnerable or forget their resources, to one for control them and 2 for put them on debt. But you go ask where the conscience, why are they doing this? This is it. Somebody be one guy argue. He said we they live. He said just like in the jungle, not so. If the lion sorry, he said if the lion sorry for the gazelle, the lion sorry for the deer, the lion go die. Not so. They live on. They go hunger. They die of starvation. If the lion sorry, not like they are. So no sympathy. No, then they can't for help with. This airport now don't become a burden to you and me, even if you don't in a salon. Anytime you go salon, you pay for it. You see what to the try for talking? See the connection here? And if you check again this fresh document, this document where the government be the parade with. If you remember this document during the election, this now government not just put something, not just shown us some millions and quick one. From there now we can put for you DW the documents we then do. It's a little bit. It is slow a little bit now, yeah? Okay. So right now we want to put this. Okay, I think it is very good. This now other document where now IMF now then put this document. If you see, check here, this government be celebrates this. It's so shameful and disgraceful. If you buy like now Gide, Marabio campaign on this, you see? Now the IMF, if you check now recent one now 2023, the IMF gives alone 20.7 million. This now one of the campaign message of Marabio. The IMF don't give you money. This is because they trust in government. They hardly do that in an electionary year because they go see select an endorsement. This was all over. But what it not tell we how we go pay this money. Now today you don't know what it make for. You're not gonna forget better health. You're not gonna forget better electricity. You're not gonna forget better roads and things are not gonna forget better because of this system. And they know, they're fully aware. Yeah, but the other Gentle projects, these are all part of the thing. So people can get for wake up and see and smell the coffee. Smell the coffee, see what did happen. We never take the country serious. We do best for we're analyzing things to the barest minimum. Anyway, I think we'll pause this one. Definitely we'll make another part 2 when the time right for it. Let people know say we a country, it don't and we not then we are again. It not the answer of IMF and World Bank, and we don't establish as the GDP almost like the national debt, we external debt, it almost close to the GDP. So we are done. Sorry for saying that, but it's just the hard fact. All right, now land issue don't become a problem in the country. Why would not go to these these 3 days ago, DW pulled these very, very important, very documentary they can share until we share and a very worth it for listener. And there we go.
Can sign 20 new high-ticket clients in the next 180 days on a complete pay-on results basis, using 17 different methods for client acquisition, none of which involve hiring an army of appointment setters, spamming people like a madman with cold email, or having to post on social media every day. Well, you'd probably tell me it's too good to be true, and you'd tell me to screw off, and that would be fair enough. But
all right, that's just a part of DW, then documents we didn't do about land rights and how communities where mining company claim say that they go mine, they not even get the people in the local then said they not even know, or some of them even the consultation can even low because merely once we don't deal with governments, from the government to the paramount chief, that's it. And some of them even forgetting that in land that surface rent self again, it can be an issue. Anyway, we just thought and fit say at least if we bring and kind of the limelight, let people and just see how things and they unfold. Well, as always, we go tap an hour and we 1 hour done clock, and we go continue with the program tomorrow. We could take 2 minutes and we open the line and give you the chance for Lisa can say your word, and we'll come over the text messages as well. We can just now. Well, now we'll take like 2 minutes, loading Quata behind the scene. And if you just join me for the first time, the program we'll be listening to Komon-Tok. We did a different site, TPP Leone YouTube, with the Facebook, Talking Points, with the X, with the Instagram and TikTok. Consider for be part of us. But we highly encourage you that you focus more attention on YouTube, because we get some things that we can put on YouTube or not necessarily put nowhere else. If you don't know how to subscribe, this is not the way we can do it. They can just now. In 2 minutes, you get a mic for talk to we, and we said they can read the text message. They can.
If you want to subscribe to the TPP Leone YouTube page on your phone, click and open the YouTube app. Now the search box, just type Komon-Tok and click enter. When the page display, look at the top middle and click the subscribe button. Subscribe. And not tap the click the bell close to the subscribe button and select all. As you don't subscribe, so anytime we go live, you go be among the first people them where they get notification. If you want to subscribe to the TPP Leone YouTube page on your phone, click and open the YouTube app. Now the search box, just type Komon-Tok and click enter. When the page display, look at the top middle and click the subscribe button. Subscribe. And not tap the click the bell close to the subscribe button and select all. As you don't subscribe, so anytime we go live, you go be among the first people them where they get notification.
And this is not the time we na you inside now. Let me check. As always, We look forward to your suggestion and brilliant contribution. Now we check on the text messages then first. And this one, they come up from more banks. What they say, it saddens me to see that we can't feed our people. I watched this documentary yesterday. I shed tears. Seeing the districts where the president hails from, this is why I have no respect for these guys. This one, they come up from Abdul Kaba Toure, will say, Mr. Komon-Tok, my fellow Edwardian, I really admire you. How do you manage your work-time balance for all these media information? Work, family, and sleep, because 24 hours is not enough for you. God bless you. Thank you very much. Really a good question. It's really, really a good question. It's really, well, I would say the inspiration that come from Una, because that's not the truth, you know. When I look at normal, if I not count 1 day, 2 day, the amount of calls, text messages, how people in the worry, if they will get any information, because they worry. Like I said, there are very few platforms then be more open up, critical, and challenge issues there. We actually demand for challenge, very few. So that make sometimes, even though we're extremely tired, we remember the people, the spirits, you know, that's the give extra energy. So if I for answer you, me fellow Edwardian, that's the strength they come from the people. I just want to be honest with that. That's all. All right. And this one they come up from Corner 3 is a economic dialogue will unite us. We will come up with the ideas that can be beneficial for our people. I respect economic discussions. It will benefit all of us. Indeed. Yes, I agree with that. A very, very serious what you see on Paso. I don't even have time bomb. Lunge Port Terminal was funded by the U.S. Development Fund. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, somebody just bring a Lunge Airport was funded by the U.S. Development Fund, DFC, through SUMA. Thank you very much. You bring a cam. So you see what we talk about corporations. That's how they operate. Now, this will not be known at so plenty of people, or some people read, but you know, where at least how huge amount of people they know. And now with the counter, with the getter, and guess what? The people that were involved, then they say they talk. They say they talk because book, you go read that. Okay, maybe the author know they again, the author don't die. But if you're fortunate where they grant an interview, well, you don't get everything we need for now. This is it. DFC use SUMA for can put an airport when a burden to saloon people. For can inside you pay. For go out you pay. For corona you pay. Anyway. All right, let me go back. This one, the HDLL place. Is our country's representative know about this burden, but bribery from the big corporation have tied them down. No love for our country or the people. I agree with you. Yeah. They know completely. They know nothing. This one, they come from Martin. Contest, so Mr. Komon-Tok upon all this economic status BO keep on undertaking. All right. This one from Zainab C is say if the money was spent in good use like building or improving our public hospitals could have been better. Zainab C, yeah, it could have been better, but if you listen carefully, most of this money, you know, they actually come now we can't again, you know. Then a large infrastructure project where now that's why they build and then they buy all the items. If then they allow we here in a trust way. If they allow you, like what they can't trust you, you get the free will for buy something. You go look at the cheaper rates, but then get what they call conditionalities. In other words, they tie and then they tell you for buy. For example, if you UK lend you money, one of the conditionality will be you get for buy from UK approved contractors there. I mean, then get them bobo. You see the point, eh? How you can't trust me money? I get for pay with interest. Though you tell me back, who's have for buy? Who's out for buy? It painful. If America lent you money, then they look at their own corporations and their own boys and then if you deal with. Same with Europe. But anyway. This one from I wanted to come. I say the only thing this they only do this to African countries because they know our leaders don't care about the people, only for themselves. I wanted to come. I agree with you. Yeri waiting a packing stock is in only very few countries, very few, and those countries then we back we pack up them. I mean, we crack them brain. We not do they end up for use the CIA. And people then forward to them, then give them case, then lie for them. So majority of the African leaders then they are no, and they accept. So when somebody call here started say one of the reasons we make the West not be let APC continue now because one they don't begin to denying some of the loans and those corporations and they get power actually and they run the governments and it's a fact. And then they see Sierra Leone they move towards China. You remember that airports, 300 million, 350 million airports, and all I want to communicate, push way, then push, then force for let a regime change take place. This one come from more banks. We don't have functioning capital markets. Government is not sincere even in servicing its local debt. It's even safer to lend to Abacha street ladies, lend to the government of Sierra Leone. Very interesting. This one they come from John Kanu. He say, Mr. Komon-Tok, I believe you follow the recent podcast done by Dr. Cherno Bar of the Africanist Press about the Western Area Electrification Project. This project is not feasible till date. And then project in there. We'll get how much project over there? He said, we're not able to continue. We're not able to continue. We're not able. And I tell you, he's so current on what he's always putting out for us. Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. This one from Cotton Tree. He said, the last time I was in Sierra Leone was 6 months ago. A foreign person asking for my passport. I was so mad. I was so mad and made noise about it. Why is the foreigner asking for my passport in Sierra Leone? Nonsense. You imagine, okay, don't get all the type of discrimination at the airports there and then country there. The racism, this, that, we're Africans with this. No, you go down that country, it's okay. Let go take 3 weeks, let go take 1 month, let go blow. You beat the airport force where they miss on how forgetting about the then they collect your passport. They ask you about payback. A foreigner, then they go anyway. Kids say, Mr. Komon-Tok, I respect you for further information. God bless you. Yes, Kate, thank you very much. And this one they come from Lusanes Camara. He said, did Salon really needed the airport reconstructed at Lunge by the Suma Group for 270 million used on that airport was loan we will not be able to pay for a very long time. Our airport is no longer ours. I make our count the program today. I say IMF, the World Bank, and their own Sierra Leone. It's just logical. We're not able to pay this money. They not say we're not going to pay in 25 years. In fact, I don't extend us. I don't know how much government don't extend on Tuba. I don't even at 35 years, they don't add for them. They don't extend that. We're not able to pay. We can't. They know. These people that are giving us this money, they knew exactly what they are doing. And they have been trained to do it. And they have been doing it for ages. And it's only benefiting two sets of people. Those who, the elites, those who are in power, and those business people that are connected with the government, with these elites. For example, gentle groups of company. Gentle right and they make huge money, then projects there. You see, the rich become richer and the poorer become poorer. So with people in Asalo, we're not going to continue for suffer, unfortunately. I don't want to say this, but that's the reality, I will just go for Sisu. John Kanu lets Magufuli of Tanzania got killed because he refused to borrow from IMF and World Bank. This one come up from Taylor. It say so now that make them call for regime change. Yeah, that's what some people then say, but you know go doubt what it are then keep people for do. You get for play ball. You get for play ball. Confessions of an Economic Hitman is a good read. I have read it. Yeah, I mean, people are not read it, but now we hear when the man they talk again. Either they had more flesh, And this one they come from John Kanu. They say your program is top notch. Keep the good work. All right, thank you, John. Okay, I think we don't take more banks. Okay, Lord, just take them back. The lack of frugality of the BO administration is beyond comprehension. We allowed a bunch of deprived individuals to lead us and manage our resources. What do you expect? It's a good question, Brands. Some of these guys are in England, in UK. With all due respect to those jobs, but not just the basic jobs. Some of them are security. We're not just named them because God can expose at any time. It's not a bad thing for a person who work as security, work at McDonald's, clean this. The thing is about your integrity, about the actions that we do. If I don't do all the job there, when I don't go back na salon, when I for do better now. But when they take the money there back, when they come now, look Professor Francis, Mr. 1%. It then at the UK now, it then at England. The man where they accused, first way just kind inside the first one at $1 million, according to one journalist, who then puts in a cell, And he get, big house there, according to what you understand. No big house there, he get houses in there. What's how you pull up? What's how you pull up? A lecturer, Google how money they pay lecturer in a university now. I know they pay them much. This one, Alusan Sankara, they say a small country with 2 ministries of education. Yes, because if you know now. Point of correction, IMF and the World Bank are not the owner of Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone belongs to its actual indigenous people and the other people that born there, who they are. Okay, I think this person will understand the way we explain it. I hope say perhaps reverse and back, let pay attention. If you keenly listen what we say and you watch the video, then you go know exactly what you make say on Sierra Leone. All right. Now we go back. They say true, they want to make money, but how greedy and wicked politicians are using this money to fill in their pocket. They should put something in place to monitor these rogue African politicians to be able to use the money for the intended purpose. I wish. But it's possible, oh, la no lie by you. It's possible. It only take you and me. That's it. You and me, we don't know. Wow, these guys are wicked. They have destroyed our country. It will take a lifetime to repay this debt. We are telling you guys. This one they call Lami Denke. Yes, Mr. Komon-Tok, please check your inbox. Hey, you don't send for $1 million in our inbox? Okay, let us see. I hope say we don't send $1 million there. All right. Okay, so fam, today we end this program a little bit of with the end earlier. Good afternoon, Mr. Komon-Tok with community members. Yes, Maria Tukabia, good evening. Yes, yes, Bimba, Awar, yes, Kelly, Dauda, and we good friend as always. We tell them plenty thank you. So apart from below they tap the program here for tonight. We know if we get much the course center today. I don't know what's happening. I'm sure see I don't know. It appears if everything is fine. It just tap maybe sometimes this more calls and all come, but that's fine. At least we don't get the other side of this. We Texans and do fantastic job, and we don't learn from yourself. These are the programs that we need. Each Sierra Leoneans within the country, and this we need. These are the things we actually get for make. When I get for grab and do something for the country. So let nobody, each time politician want tell you about say things and get for better, think about what you don't talk. So please like this program. When I like this program, this will be a reference for you. You want to go back and listen and carefully. Maybe today we just listen and you know you will get away. Take your time back in your own quiet moment where you not get nothing perhaps so they distract you. Listen this program one more time. All right. Okay. You know, we'll just add one call, then we'll wrap the program. Just one call, then we'll wrap the program. Yes, my brother, outside you call from?
It's Kailondo.
Oh, yeah, Kailondo.
Mr. Komon-Tok. How are you?
I'm good, Kailondo. You're welcome. Yeah, the show they're on.
I enjoyed the show. I tell you yesterday about the IMF and the World Bank.
Yeah.
These people now then they corrupt Africa. And it's Kurumana, they don't be one time. Now they don't be one time at all.
Yeah, I think now you talk.
Yeah, now me tell you yesterday.
Yeah.
They got no one progressive leaders. They don't want progressive leaders. The president came Makofoli for that. You see, those are the economic hitmen. West Africa without being getting now to fight wine. And then the hitmen. Anybody now West Africa who want to make them say now. We go now, then get Egypt. South Africa, you get Iron Smith. That's what they operate. When they take this guy now, Congo, with them pull like Patrick Lumumba, they bring the Humando.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's what they operate, bro. That means that the people they get for grab, the politicians they don't go big. Wait, for this and come don't be there. You see the international world stand for left for this and come no rule. Because they know the potential of Sierra Leone. Look down there and go bring for it. James Jones allergic about it. We don't teach Solomon run away go. Seize them property there. Close SLPMB. You know, they could go to SLPMB for go flood the cacao no more panic and the bag there. But they go in them always.
Okay.
Yeah. But SLPMB. Just for go load cacao. So them I mean they go there and they go find that cacao or coffee. You know? The politician are not going to help you. I make the 19, 20, let the people then come out. Let the people then come out. We will call them politician as you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
Same to you. All right. I don't know. I think another calls in the kind side, but it's too late now. We'll just take few. Anyway, yes, Ahmed, you get the platform. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Komon-Tok.
Thank you.
For the late call. I've been enjoying the program so much that I obviously say, of course,
yeah.
It's nice. Like I can always say, keep it up. You know, it's good way you remind people of all of these things. And this way I can like the program so much and very much educative. Where you link out other external, you know, issues that are outside Sierra Leone. For people that just draw learning process, you know, from far. For me to see why this will be today. Exactly what you talk. That 20.7 million we might have campaign about time. Where at my IMF, they are just at the week of the election. If I use that platform before campaign, because they make it trust that money. So people are waiting for the report, then they look and say, this man look at the game money in the election job staff. You know, the politicians they so wicked that they use all kind of means. For me, they brainwash the people. For many people, they draw myopic. They feel they're so dangerous. They don't need the shots because they don't know the repercussion, the outcome of all of them. Don't say, "Oh, we take." The brother, we don't go 10 to 15 years backward with what have you in the check. But until when this man left power, and the people would know. The average politician they only work with them. They don't go for finance because the things they make money. Actually, see most of them offshore accounts, most of them big share. And then kind the Chinese, the other lobbies, the America, UK now, and then kind government that they want because they go even escape justice easily with no tax or nothing. And you can't get a leader like Marabi who wants to wait to be. So that they can put they follow. The one they can go to there for exploit. Look when I miss one program, one for the one, the way they see the deputy minister of mines. He gets a diamond deal with somebody that go, you know. When I get the company, imagine how you as a minister, you involved into mining. You know, they find diamond, he arrest the guys there with chief in the diamond. The 8 cases, they don't know they report them. You know, they can't publicly, brother. They wife all of the television. You know, they can't talk the yarn. They mass case them day.
Imagine somebody they say that in North we get about $800,000 when they keep like when they thief because they are caught. You know, they hearing. Imagine that. We say people like somebody who retires in North, we say pull up money. We say pull up. So they all are the same. They parliamentarians say, yeah, this because they all as other people they come, then they go to a bank take a huge loan. So I could check parliamentarian left the parliament, we don't go trust money.
Yeah.
We missing for pay the loan.
Yeah.
So how they get a lot of overdraft, then go buy no one see the kind of money. You know, Mr. Komon-Tok only that loan that I have.
Yeah, they set them up. You know, say once they set them up now, say I don't commercial bank, then go take some debts in for buy motor car. We don't know who pay some of them.
They use all kind of monetary terms. And that makes the imagine which is the outgoing embassy for America CC. And therefore all accounted both parties, opposition, the one that we fraud, you know, the election. Why make fiscal man make that statement before he be left in power? Because you can find out a lot of other opposition people they don't involve into corrupting the democracy. You know, and which when we talk something, if they do them, they were anyhow they do lobby, they go this and good that they don't go escape from the justice of democracy. And I make them guy they ask for put in a parliamentary mayor and then cancel there, and then money they don't go take. So now the people don't understand which way they got different because imagine me you didn't this.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmed.
How much money will you save for a month?
Thank you.
$1,000 million they wonder.
All right.
People don't need that much here, they don't even get £10,000 at their account.
Easy. Anyway, thank you very much, Ahmed. Thank you.
Very much for the program. Keep it up, and we also allow people to do it. When I'm share their programs there, in the quiet moment, you will listen from what we learn. This platform, we want to make it grow so that people will be able to get the information wide. Please.
All right. Thank you very much, Ahmed, as always. God bless you. All right. Now we had another one. We'll take probably this will be the last lucky caller for tonight. Let's call outside the call from.
Hello, Mr. Komon-Tok.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening. Outside the call from.
I call from the Komon-Tok family.
Yes, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're a real legend. We really appreciate you every time for the enlightening me. Some of you the upcoming and we admire you so much.
Thank you.
Particularly me, I admire your program. For any time you come, you analyze things, then make we the young one then see the way forward, so that nobody will use me for personal gain. You know, salon problem it don't be in the way that we anytime we think of they get sleepless nights because nothing good, nothing for talk about the country. Not even argue globally, even regionally, like you know the sub-region. You not even argue any country because sooner you start, you don't see you downfall because then they nyaka you from how you country not perform even globally. So you're not able for argue. And I just want to see one thing like we will be the time for talk about the appointees them. You know. Me, His Excellency, although yeah, we call her now His Excellency because the APC they don't empower them, and now then two parties there, we must see as good party in our country. Even the talk of Mr. Baran, if APC opposition leaders for we don't stand or the opposition for we don't stand against Baran and Parliament, wallahi enough for we don't see don't Isayanda. But because they serve they in that same corruptive way that make them allow them. And the appointees them. That means everybody knows say Mother Bill don't take the dictatorship. We serving in the use now Uganda. And now so Uganda take a Uganda president take win Uganda people their mind. He left them on social media every time they freed. And we, the mind game we get, we talk on the media but not even apply them. And because of that, Mother they continue for do all it you want for do.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Otherwise.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So we will take the last call. This will be the last one. When I mean last, not last dinner. This will be the last one. This one will be the last. Yes. This one.
Hello, Mr. Komon-Tok. Me answer what always call me cancer, call it cancer, one dots now. See that the last lucky caller that me answer.
We fumble from the Komon-Tok.
Yes, Mr. Komon-Tok, thank you so much, the callers in the scene, for doing a very good job for we all, for Ed Mama Salo, for man. Well, I want to ask a question, because once one caller say for laying me this for them, what they down to for the layman for labor listening for voice note. So as a voice note, so if you say that the comment section, well, that did you watch the program? I like the program. They still on my phone. People in comment say yes. If you say for give money for let them go do, you know, go do, but the person go do behind the scene. If you say for let everybody say anything, but from that day they are not anything again, because this kind of let people get the information. The information I have, this information I know if you say for the economic, because get picking the thing, get the record there. I shall say, "Ma'am, you in that village, or that power in that village, or that picture in that village. Saying I get the solution, but if you didn't hear, the solution will come for country. So I don't know if we don't talk, if we don't watch the comments them, or if
Nabi, just a suggestion, because for letting rich people, you need possible within our social media where they join groups. You know, say now on the way share and groups. So in the number then our social media where perhaps you will say, okay, what you would do, want to produce a program, convert them for it to audio, we able it will share, because we go convert our sender, but how they reach to people. So you really need somebody with dedicated, we would we join 10, 20, 30 group, but then get some of them join 50 groups. So then we will get the power and the patience for share, especially when you do and free, they get something incentive, then they will make you do more. So we call the idea about, you know, now small, as time that goes on, we'll see what will happen along the line, you know.
Yeah. People then will get all left behind. All this other important information they will get out, so all left behind. So thank you so much for the good of this one. Like I made yesterday, back and I wait for quality when they go in for my acts. Because we now move forward and one day we watch the program, but the other people then. You see, if the people all man they get this information, what they happen our country, I should say all man will get one mind, one voice for letting do what for doing Mama Salo. True, because some people in the information they mix them.
They mix them. Yeah. They mix them.
But for all of getting one day on one side, they listen everything. Be like the solution will come for me. So now that make I just say my ask my see how far this still don't go. And then thank you so much. There are people and I don't forget for like and share and subscribe, and then we'll see how best we people and back down there we will get this information. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will rest my case here.
Thank you very much. And we will also try for the cut time. Then the cut time we will make probably in the editor cut some parts there. If you so you go listen, you go watch some side, and also you go able to share. So anyway, now work in progress. We'll see how it happen, right? Small. Right. So we tap now, family, we turn up plenty, thank you. Maybe just two. Lord, just take, I think, new text there. Lord, just take two. Lamin to any 19 sit at home and 20 go protest against what you want, unions. And this one, they come up from Ahmed Kamara. Your program gives credible information. It's really worth listening. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you again. And Cesar Alusan say Pauper illegal regime is a group of gangster boys, cowboys, murderers. And all right, to the rest of the family, yes, Zanab, thank you very much, and we love you all. Hopefully, God's willing, tomorrow they are back. Bye bye.
Just one platform for news within our country, alone for education, entertainment, political affairs, TV. We got enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone, like a big country. We breeze not the shit, titty bitty.
Wise up, come together. We tension for safe we country. Cause this thing with the brain line go down the country. Before they make me land, they put people never angry and one yeah. And just busy for the soul bad seed for the fight me. Oh no, it's not a tribal thing, this not bad politics for divide and win. People they suffer, see they no be seen. Just they pack with money left up on the tribal scene. Wise up, join the I4 sing. Yeah. Tell me if the price na market they go down, will you show you last name? And the same stuff and no more now we all the left for explain. Oh, if we not keep to all, we not promise them that manifest. We not no need for the do them see how they man you. Man up from some truth, see them down space. Or them puts you in a tight place. Or you left a far place. Exile from your own place. Hey, hey. You get different views in a down space. Or them puts you in a tight place. Or you left a far place. Exile from your own place, yeah. You know we dey far away from we are tell we mind dey go. Even though I holla king, you know no place like home. No place like home. The only place we don't call we own. We not go leave by my love. My body's driver. Wise up, come together to all many things where the eye don't see. Crimes against humanity. When I don't suffer, people say we don't lose with sanity. When I wanna buy force, nothing I know gets right. Not to water, not to team for it, not to delight. If not the people and self, when I unite. Now they walk and we make them, when I jump, now the flight. No one will go fetch for we right. Okuba put tax on the people, more burden. Every day new thing, more problem. Waka fine, all the waka people fine. Corruption effect, no can for stay. You see it takes states to silo makers, then they. We not reach for make una fail. Cause now una they fail, and so we they pay. We una feel the country on bail. My lights are line, now we back to him. Oh. If we not keep to all, we not promise them that manifest. We not no need for the do them see how we manifest. Man up from some truth, then down space. Or them puts you in a tight place. Or you left a far place. Exile from your own place. Hey, hey. You get different views in a down space. Or them puts you in a tight place. Or you left a far place. Exile from your own place, yeah. We know we get far away from we are tell we might dey home. Even though I holla king, you know no place like home. No place like home. The only place we go call we own. We not go leave by my love. My body's driver. Wise up, come together to all you know they pay attention. And myself don't begin make true confession. We are here and find lecture. How now you must control government we get. How they don't look for light there. They don't see. And if lights not there, nothing not go up. Well, we science don't come for this business now. Because me no say now we can't the money safe within the use of fly. We don't get no benefit to this country. Then get a safe and pay that shit now at light go come. This is not a rocket science. The country don't left now. Nobody not for talk. You say oh Abu and now for tomorrow. And they can kill them with young people are dying. Civic rights for protest. Safe they don't take now we arm. But you stand for the right thing, then send them police and soldier by you. Now get okay. Because we push people into the wall. for expect them for bounce back. The credibility of the elections and the legitimacy of this government, look at Leone now. But all day, they can plan how for rule this country. Tell now, without no benefits for the people. But one thing we always they forget, that the God factor and the will of the people. Salon people learn all this hope. Our body is slow, but it's sure.